Armed federal agents recently swarmed the mansions of hip-hop icon Sean Diddy Combs in a dramatic raid over a sex trafficking investigation. Disturbing videos featuring him alongside Justin Bieber have resurfaced on social media. Adding to that is a sexual assault lawsuit from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and Prince Harry finds himself implicated in another recent lawsuit. The same music mogul we've seen ruling the rap game for decades is now surrounded by a storm of shocking allegations, accusations of sexual abuse, assaults, sex trafficking, even exploiting and drugging women and underage girls. While Diddy has denied these claims, the high-profile raids represent an escalation that could potentially topple his entire reputation. But here's the thing. While these latest developments are certainly jaw-dropping, they're far from the first time Combs has found himself engulfed in controversy. From his roots with involvement in the deadly East Coast-West Coast rap feud to nightclub shootings, vicious beatdowns, and relentless sexual misconduct lawsuits over the years, P Diddy has been in all sorts of troubles. So in many ways, these new allegations are just the latest chapter in his long history of criminal actions. But what is the real story that eventually led to this? Let's take a look at his background and early life. Well, Diddy's roots couldn't be more humble. He was born Sean John Combs in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City in 1969. Raised by his mum after his father, Melvin Earl Combs, was fatally shot in his car during a drug transaction. After being misidentified as an informant when Diddy was just 3 years old, this left him to be raised by his mother in financially strained circumstances. The family later moved to Mount Vernon, New York, where Diddy attended a Catholic boys' school. Even as a student, his entrepreneurial spirit shone brightly. He organized parties and even started a small airport shuttle service to earn extra money. Despite these challenging early years, Diddy's ambition drove him to Howard University, where he began to study business. However, the allure of the music industry was irresistible. He left Howard to take an internship at Uptown Records, a decision that catapulted him into the heart of the music scene as a talent director. This pivotal move laid the foundation for his future success in the industry. Diddy's ambition and work ethic quickly elevated him to the role of vice president at Uptown, where he produced hit records for artists like Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, and Father MC. But he had even bigger dreams of running his own label and calling the shots. In 1993, at just 24 years old, Diddy took the massive risk of launching his own production company, Bad Boy Entertainment. And boy, did it pay off in a big way. He immediately started churning out multi-platinum albums and #1 hits with the hottest names in hip-hop and R&B, like Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, Total, 112, and more. By 1997, just 4 years after its launch, Bad Boy Entertainment had already sold nearly $100 million in recordings. He even debuted under the name Puff Diddy as a rapper in the same year. His debut album, No Way Out, sold 561,000 copies in its first week of release. Diddy had arrived as one of the biggest names and talents in the entire music industry. His gritty come-up from the streets to the top of the game was the stuff of legends. But as you'll soon see, Diddy's path to superstardom and building his business empire was far from a straight line. Along the way, he frequently found himself embroiled in legal troubles, violence, and scandals that continually threatened to derail his meteoric rise. One of the biggest controversies surrounding Diddy involves the infamous East Coast versus West Coast hip-hop feud of the 1990s. As the founder of Bad Boy Records, Diddy played a central role in this violent clash between the two sides. On the East Coast side was Diddy's own label, Bad Boy, along with his close friend and rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. On the West Coast was the powerful Death Row Records, run by the infamous Suge Knight, along with their biggest star, Tupac Shakur. The rap rivalry intensified to shocking levels, with the murders of both Biggie and Tupac in 1997 leaving the world stunned. While Diddy was never directly implicated in the killings, he was entangled in the conflict that led to this tragic outcome. In fact, a former LAPD investigator even claims in a documentary that Diddy allegedly hired a Crips gang member to carry out a $1 million hit on Tupac and Suge Knight, which then prompted the retaliation killing of Biggie. Whether he was directly involved or not, there's no denying Diddy was at the very center of this volatile rap war. And this wouldn't be the last time accusations of Diddy's connections to gangs and criminal activity would arise. Speaking of controversy, in 1998, he and two others were accused of violently attacking an Interscope Records executive with bottles and a phone due to a disagreement about a music video. Diddy got off with just a one-day anger management class. In 1999, the nightclub shooting incident happened where Diddy was arrested for illegal gun possession after a shootout injured 3 people. In 2007, he was sued for millions for allegedly telling his bodyguards to attack a promoter. And in 2015, he faced assault charges following a fight with a UCLA football coach, but they were later dismissed. And this is just scratching the surface of many other accusations of threats, violence, sexual misconduct, and illicit activities that have swirled around Diddy for decades. He's a true Teflon Don in how controversy and charges against him just never seem to stick. Which brings us to the most recent wave of allegations that erupted in late 2023, when Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, accused him of a decade of sexual abuse, assault, and even rape in a shocking lawsuit. In her filing, Cassie claims Diddy regularly physically abused her, forced her to have sex with other men against her will, and raped her in 2018 near the end of their relationship. She also alleges the wild claim that Diddy had rapper Kid Cudi's car blown up for showing interest in her. Now, while Cassie did quickly settle with Diddy just one day after filing the lawsuit, the floodgates had opened. Within weeks, at least 3 more women came forward to file new lawsuits, making similar claims as sexual assault, drugging, rape, and even disturbing revenge porn against Diddy. While he denies all accusations, Diddy was forced to resign as head of his Revolt TV network, had a planned reality show cancelled, and saw his reputation disintegrated. Could this finally be the controversy that takes Diddy down once and for all? It remains to be seen, but the charges paint an extremely disturbing portrait of the hip-hop icon as an unrepentant sexual predator who uses his wealth and power to abuse women. On top of all this, Diddy's ties to other huge mainstream celebrities have also raised some very unsettling questions about his behavior. A series of resurfaced videos from over a decade ago show a very strange and uncomfortable dynamic between Diddy and a 15-year-old Justin Bieber. In one clip, Diddy openly says he'll be spending 48 hours alone with the young Bieber, but won't disclose what they'll be doing, calling it a 15-year-old's dream. He also makes creepy references to having legal custody over Bieber, licking his lips suggestively while saying, "He's with me," about the teen pop star. Other footage shows Bieber acting extremely uncomfortable and awkward around the much older Diddy. What inappropriate interactions may have occurred between the two? Nothing has been proven yet. Another alleged victim was a 13-year-old Usher. A video of him talking about living with Diddy when he was 13 has also popped up on social media. Diddy is well known for finding and helping artists like Usher, who got famous in the mid-1990s. Diddy and Usher became friends after the R&B singer signed a record deal with L.A. Reid, who then sent him to live with Diddy in New York for a year. In a 2004 interview with Rolling Stone, Usher remembered how Diddy introduced him to a whole different set of stuff, sex specifically. "Sex is a big deal in the industry," he continued, saying, "There were always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or a bunch of people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen." Later on, in a 2016 interview with Howard Stern, Usher revealed that while living with Diddy in New York, some very curious things were taking place. Usher told Stern, "I got a chance to see some things. I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild." When asked if he would ever send his own children to Puffy Camp, Usher replied with, "Hell no." As someone who was so close to Diddy at a young age, it's really intriguing to hear him allude to some questionable behavior going on behind the scenes. It's puzzling why Usher would send Justin Bieber to Diddy, especially considering his own reservations about sending his children to similar environments. These revelations bring to light questions about the environments young artists are exposed to in the entertainment industry. Given Usher's own reflections on his time with Diddy and his decision regarding his children, it prompts us to consider the nature of mentorship and protection offered to young talents in such high-pressure settings. In a related but concerning development, Prince Harry's name was mentioned in a 2023 lawsuit filed by Rodney Jones. This lawsuit, which accuses Diddy of hosting elite sex trafficking parties, included a vague reference to Prince Harry, thereby drawing him into the broader scandal. In the suit, Diddy is accused of hosting elite celebrity sex trafficking parties to curry favor and earn legitimacy with the rich and powerful. The filing then randomly name-drops Prince Harry, stating his affiliation with these parties garnered legitimacy and access. Now, there's zero evidence Harry actually attended any such parties or had any knowledge of them. The mention seems to just be a desperate name-dropping ploy to lend credibility to the lawsuit's claims. Still, invoking the prince's name at all in connection to sex crimes is an unbelievably reckless act from Diddy's camp, even if it was a fabrication. Ultimately, Harry's representatives dismissed any notion of involvement, calling it a blatant falsehood. Finally, we can't discuss Diddy's history without mentioning his relationship with Jennifer Lopez in the late 90s. While J-Lo was never one of his accusers, she has made some heavily implied references to Diddy's abusive and controlling behavior during that time. In her recent Netflix documentary, Halftime, Lopez states, "There were people in my life who said, 'I love you,' and then didn't do things that were kind of in line with the word love. You have to hit rock bottom, where you're in situations so uncomfortable and so painful that you finally go, 'I don't want this anymore.' Being thrown around and manhandled like that is not fun." While she doesn't name Diddy directly, sources have confirmed she was referring to her ex and the unhealthy dynamic they had. J-Lo's quotes, whether they're for her documentary promotion or not, add to the evidence of Diddy's alleged history of mistreating women. Because, as the recent federal raids on his homes have shown, Diddy's shadowy past is finally starting to catch up with him. As mentioned earlier, he is being sued by another victim, a musician named Rodney Jones Jr., also known as Lil Rod. Lil Rod has made shocking accusations, alleging harassment, intimidation, and attempts to silence him by Diddy. It's claimed Diddy sent associates to threaten Lil Rod and his family, including his young daughter and her mother. The icon is even accused of spreading damaging stories about Lil Rod in the media to discredit him. These are serious claims, piling onto the legal troubles Diddy already faces. With Lil Rod's lawsuit in motion and others possibly joining, the outcome of this high-profile battle is uncertain. One thing's certain though, the gravity of these accusations is fueling public curiosity, eager to uncover any more secrets lurking in Diddy's world. Lots of officers from the Department of Homeland Security went to Sean Diddy Combs' big houses in Los Angeles and Miami. Helicopters on the news showed agents telling people in Combs' fancy Holmby Hills house to come out with their hands up. People say Combs' grown-up sons had lasers pointed at them when they came out of the LA house, but Combs himself was in Florida when this happened. Why exactly are his sons involved? Well, a new lawsuit alleges his son sexually assaulted a woman while she was working on a yacht Diddy had chartered for a trip at the end of 2022. In the suit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, Grace O'Marcaig alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her in late December 2022. While she was working on a boat charter that had been sold as a wholesome family excursion, but turned into a hedonistic environment. So it's fair to say the sons are allegedly following in their dad's footsteps. Or are they being groomed into doing that? Agents were looking for proof at Diddy's mansions as part of a big investigation, but many details are still secret. Legal experts say this is what investigators would do if they were building a case about sex trafficking against a famous person like Diddy. Nobody got arrested at the houses, but Combs' friend Brendan Poole got arrested at a Miami airport for drug stuff at the same time as the house searches. People say Combs is being looked at closely because of claims about sex trafficking and sexual assault made by 4 women. Either way, the big, high-profile searches show that investigators have a lot of reasons to look into Diddy. They probably took important evidence that could lead to Diddy facing charges over the bad stuff he's accused of. But we'll have to wait and see if the lawyers think they have enough proof to make him guilty. After walking through Diddy's extensive rap sheets of lawsuits, violence, criminal associations, and abuse allegations, you can see why many view him as potentially the biggest real-life gangster to ever infiltrate the mainstream music industry. From his roots hustling on the streets of New York to the dramatic escalation of the East versus West Coast feud he was entangled in, to the shootings and frequent attacks he's been connected to, Diddy certainly embraced a gangster persona and mindset early on in his career. You also have to remember, in the 90s hip-hop world he came up in, having gritty street cred and being associated with real gang members and criminality was seen as a badge of honor. Diddy cultivated that with his business practices and personal life. And of course, the wave of disturbing sexual allegations in recent years, if even partially true, would mean Diddy operated his own criminal racket of exploiting and abusing women for many years. So, in that sense, was the old P Diddy persona just a big act? Like showing off as a music boss who does anything to succeed, even breaking the law? Decide for yourselves. You cannot deny that Diddy's journey from humble beginnings to building an entertainment empire is truly remarkable from a business perspective. Just a huge shame if the avalanche of allegations is true, which, from looking at his history, might be.